This is a video from Common Sense in Politics, and please make sure to click subscribe to get future notifications of our videos. Donald Trump's war on media.
President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news question.
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody...
It doesn't bother me at all, but I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news.
Thank you, everybody. And I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
And definitely through his Twitter. Calling CNN fake news is definitely his signature soundbite. On one part, it is definitely his thin-skin syndrome goes wrong, where he cannot stop pissing at the news media. He was born with a silver spoon and had a small tiny loan of $1 million to start off with and filed for bankruptcy 6 times. For him to withstand criticisms, it's like him trying to speak with complete sentences. It is not going very well. On the other hand, how does Donald Trump making a complete fool of himself, comparing to past presidents, and if his attacks undermines our democracy? Let me begin by explaining the First Amendment. It explicitly spells out the 5 rights that we have, including the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition the government. However, this has been interpreted in many ways, including the freedom of burn flags, not standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and even pointing middle finger to the president. Unlike what white nationalists claimed, the First Amendment only protects you from government persecution. It is not a shield from criticisms. It is also not a shield from getting fired for saying or doing ridiculous things. Generally speaking, go march with the white nationalists at Charlottesville, but good luck keeping your bosses from knowing it. So, constitutionally speaking, the media has pretty much any right to criticize the government, especially the president, though the president has a right to fire back at the media. But, is it even appropriate? Let's see what the founding fathers think about the media. For Thomas Jefferson, if he was forced to pick whether to keep the government or the press, he said he would not hesitate to pick the latter, unlike Donald Trump. George Washington was horribly pissed about the media's attacks against him when he was president, but he refused to show his anger in public because he doesn't want to be seen as undermining our democracy, especially the people just finished fighting against the British monarchy. How about some past presidents on media?
I think it's invaluable, even though it may cause you it's never pleasant to be reading things frequently that are not agreeable news, but I would say that it's an invaluable arm of the presidency as a check, really, on what's going on in administration.
And so if we're going to change how John Boehner and Mitch McConnell think, we're going to have to change how our body politic thinks, which means we're going to have to change how the media reports on these issues. And it's a hard process because that requires a much broader conversation than typically we have on the nightly news.
But Donald Trump instead went on tirades after tirades on the media, makes him look completely foolish comparing to past presidents. One thing he doesn't seem to acknowledge is that it is the media's job to monitor the government to prevent tyranny and abuse. If he wanted to rule a place where the media doesn't attack the president, he should have used his so-called $10 billion fortune that he won't release his tax returns to prove it, to purchase a third-world dictatorship country so he can rule it instead of running for president. Otherwise, his screams against the media, in reality, only makes the CEOs of news media broke off laughing every day because it has no legal power at all. However, his attacks on the media pushes his supporters to filter any information from the media as fake news. Trump fans are insanely loyal towards him, and they are more than willing to fight back against anyone else who disagrees with them. As Trump continues to divide and conquer, Donald Trump fans will be completely out of touch with the reality and refuse to acknowledge his damages to our society. Meanwhile, we are witnessing the downfall of our democracy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to click subscribe to get future notifications from us. Please also like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Please also consider to contribute to our Patreon.